Good. Three. Three is a significant number. Like stepping stones, mosaic. Something is mosaic, a stepping stone. The art, a process, something about a process. Stepping stones, a process. So, multiple people are definitely helping along with this process. Um, I'm seeing a young girl. Definitely seeing a young girl here. Um, and then I'm seeing an officer. I want to say it reminds me of a like a cop, like one of those cops that you see in old black and white movies. And they had that old brim hat. I can't. I want to say it reminds me of a cop from like the 50s or 60s. That type of uniform. And I did see a little girl. Now I'm seeing another. I'm seeing a woman. Um, Getting blonde. Now I want to go back to the cop because the cop he has a it's a full face. I do see a mustache that hugs his top lip. So he's very significant in this. Getting I'm seeing the colors silver, so the top of the hat would have been silver, but the brim is like a black. Um, Now the brim is also pulled down, so it's hard for me to see his eyes. They're definitely covered, so they always wore them low, so I'm do seeing that. Um, Now with the girl, I'm feeling like the girl. Now I'm feeling like this is a father figure. Now it doesn't have to be like right to father; it could be a grandfather. But the girl I was seeing, the little girl, it was so the girl she was young when the father or grandfather figure, that male figure passed away. She was she was young. Um, I saw she's got it was like dark hair. I want to say it was like chestnut because it's not really like a light brunette brown and it's not really like a red. that red dark brown. I'm saying like chestnut, even though I think chestnut seems pretty dark, but it is. I that's what the word that came up when I was picturing the brown hair was chestnut. So the girl was young when this man passed away, but I'm definitely seeing like the mother. Now, the mother of the girl, when I saw her, she has blonde hair. Um, now, I want to say that the mother at the time, so I'm thinking it was either, it must have been her father. I think it must have been her father. So maybe the little girl, this was her grandfather that passed away. But I'm thinking, I'm seeing like the mother was probably in her 20s. And I say 20s, I'm instantly drawn between 23 to 26 years old. So with that, um, her father had passed away. He, like I said, he was a cop. Um, and but when I'm seeing a cop, he was a cop, and when I'm seeing looking at him, his face, he was around in the 50s and 60s, but at that time, he would have been. I'm looking at the face. I'm thinking like 40s, so he must have passed. Yeah, I'm really clear on the 40s, so he would have died in his 40s. Um, and the daughter would have been in her 20s, and then the granddaughter, and I saw her, she had to be like, I was thinking three, but then I'm instantly drawn to the number four. So four, um, four. What is he trying to say? He's definitely with now the granddaughter because during that time, see, like I said, he was a cop in the 50s and 60s, and he was 40 years old. I'm trying to get some dates out here. Help me, Spirit. What are some dates? I'm drawn to 91, 1991. Maybe he passed when he was 1990 in 1991. Or maybe that's when the granddaughter was born. Is in 1991. The mom was in her 20s. Um, okay, where are you going with this, Spirit? I'm down. I'm hearing like he said there was something that wasn't said or something. Hold on. Something that wasn't finished or accomplished. Why I heard accomplished first and then something that wasn't finished. And then I just heard case. So maybe as a cop, he was working on a case that went unresolved for him, or he wasn't able to finish it. Maybe he had passed, or maybe it was one of those cold cases where he wasn't able to finish something. And now I just heard that it's been reopened, or it's it ha- it's going to be reopened, or it's hold on. Here it's going to be reopened. I don't. Why am I bringing this message? Okay, so I'm getting that because I'm asking like, why am I getting this message? So like, why is this coming through? I'm getting that like the granddaughter now. Gosh, I'm drawn to 30s, so maybe she's 30 right now. She's in her 30s right now, and yes, this one be told. Yes, she's in her 30s right now. Um, she she's been looking into what her grandfather so it's okay, so I'm getting like web sleuth, so maybe the granddaughter um is like doing one of those online web sleuthing things, and so she's trying to um like find more information or she's looking into her. She's it's almost like she's trying to like help her grandfather by having him go feel more at peace and at rest by having one of the cases that he wasn't able to solve for her to take that over and solve that for him. And it's like she wants to do it for him, but it but in doing this it's helping her. I'm hearing it's like, oh, okay, now all right, now I'm going back to the beginning where I was getting the stepping stones. So by her doing all this web sleuthing and helping to bring this case back up and being one of the, I'm getting like one of the key instruments. So she's going to be one of the key instruments or one of the key people that's going to help solve this case, and that's going to help provide a stepping stone for her for I heard for help solving crimes. But then when I as soon as I started saying that in my mind, like help solving crimes, I was brought to books. So maybe this is like going to a like she's solving or wanting to solve these and then writing a book about it. And then as soon as I said that, I was brought to a really famous crime novel writer, Harlan, I want to say his name right, Coben or Coban. Um, very amazing writer. And he does this. I don't know if that's how he did all his books. I just know from recently discovering him, I saw um, side note, like a squirrel moment here. I saw something, I watched something, and it was done by him where he like he would see a crime happen or he'd see something in the paper, a mystery, like something happened, and he would go and do the research, and he would actually, um, I'm thinking that he solved the crime. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know now, and I don't want to say it wrong. But he does these shows about it, and this is like I'm being shown and told that to bring that up because I guess this is what the granddaughter is doing. Trying to help solve this case that her grandfather wasn't able to solve when he was a cop, and now she wants to help close that book, but in the same aspect it's helping her create the stepping stones to be able to get into crime novel writing. Thank you, spirit. So this is for definitely for somebody in particular out there, or yeah, definitely for somebody particular. Well, I hope this gets to who it's supposed to go to. Um, because when I was just saying that, I hope this gets to whoever it needs to get to. Um, I just heard that this is going to be the beginning for her. This is yeah, the stepping stone. I just keep saying, yeah, this is like her stepping stone. And then I'm sitting here and I was just saying it to myself, like, the stepping stone. And then I heard, she's just on the right path. She just um, needs to believe in herself. But like what she's doing is going to make a huge impact, not only into helping the family, but I'm getting families. I was going to say family, but I'm hearing families um, help bring closure. And in the families is also going to help bring closure to the grandfather that passed away. Because they have things that they want resolved. If we have stuff that we haven't resolved with somebody, when it's our time to pass away and we haven't resolved something, and you may be one of those spirits that want to come back and try to reach out to that family member or that friend or whomever, and I just want to communicate, to apologize, or to give just messages or inspiration. And that's like what's going on here. Um, he just wants that closure, but knowing that, and he said it was so unexpected that knowing that his granddaughter wants to bring this case forth and be a pinnacle part of solving it, but then being able to have the ability, because she's going to be part of the experience of all the details, all the little details, and plus being having the access to the case files for what her grandfather worked on. Now, as soon as I said that, I'm also getting like the grandfather, he kept some, or there were some files that were just, yeah, I'm getting like he, yeah, I don't know if, if cops are allowed to do that. I don't know. I mean, I could always ask one of my uncles that was a cop. But I just know, like, when you see it in shows or in movies, and one that comes particular is that show Bosch, where there's like retired cops and they would take, or they had a cold case and they would have that file or something with them, just so because they're always working on it. So I don't know if he had something like that where he held on to a case file or made copies of a case file, but I'm definitely getting that he had it, like he held on to it, and that the granddaughter, like she finds this, or that like this is what sparked her to get into try to help solve this case that her grandfather wasn't able to, because of technology now, and the way that she's able to, yeah, I mean, with all the web sleuthing, she's going to be able to use her resources. But I just keep getting that she's going to be a very pinnacle part to the case solving. And with that blessing, she's going to be able to write her book. She's going to be start writing crime novels. Like, she's going to almost like follow in Harlan Cobain's, or I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Or I don't even, there's probably tons of other mystery crime writers that write on, true actual events like Harlan does. Um, but that's what she's going to be doing. So I really hope where this is meant for, that it gets to her, because this is just a confirmation that you are on the right track. That wasn't a mistake by you coming across that police file. Um, it was for a reason, and because you're a pinnacle part in help solving this crime. And like I said, when this was, oh, he just keeps telling me he was a cop during the 50s and 60s, and that um I want to, I keep seeing silver with the black brim. Now, I don't know what other states do that, but I know like state troopers um in New York had that. I think I've seen state troopers out in Virginia. Now, I don't know. I don't know if all state troopers just have one color that they wear, but like I said, the hat, he just, all I see is his face with his hat, his uniform hat. And it's that silver gray. I just keep thinking New York. I don't know. But um spirit. But her finding that case file was not a mistake. It was to help propel her into getting writing crime novels, because once she steps into his shoes, and I'm literally being told that she's going to step into my shoes. She's going to be walking every step that I walked during my investigation. And now I'm getting teary eyed, and I can feel that emotion in my chest. Like, he is just, I'm getting overwhelmed because this gentleman is overwhelmed. it's just that joy of like finally, like I can just finally be relieved of this, because it's just that sense of I wish I could have done more for the families. I wish I would have been able to help, I wish, and just met with just roadblocks and walls, and not having that the technology we have today to be able to do and solve everything the way we can now. And and I just heard him say, if only we had that in the 50s and 60s, that it would have been done. Maybe my granddaughter would not be following in my footsteps, but things happen for a reason, you know? And he's just so elated that she's going to be walking, and I'm going to cry, but that she's going to be walking in his footsteps to help solve everything that he was not able to do. And it's just so much joy. I'm so sorry. It's just so much joy right now. And I'm crying, but it's like it's a joy. My voice is going higher. It's just a joy. Um, I'm just feeling a lot of love right now in my heart space. He's just, I'm just feeling like this utter relief that this is coming out. He's like, I don't know if this is going to get to her. Um, but the fact that I'm able to come to you and have you put it out there. So I really do hope. No, I just said I wish I had a name, and then I heard the name Janelle. I don't know if that resonates with anybody. If Janelle is somebody's name, I mean it is a name, obviously. Um, but I heard Janelle. That's just, I don't hear that name. I've never heard that name. Well, I shouldn't say I have heard name Janelle, but my God, it's not like I hear that name every day. Um, all right, so I got a name of Janelle. So if this is her story, I hope it gets to her. Um, yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. There was a lot for me to unpack there. That was whew, that was a lot of energy. He is just, I just heard over the moon. And it's so funny as I said that, I just realized like I don't know if we're still on a full moon. I think we are. We're in a full moon. He's just over the moon right now. I also heard the name Jessica. So I've got Janelle and I've got Jessica. Yeah. All right, thank you. I'm gonna leave I'm gonna leave that energy there. Oh, okay. He just wants to say that he loves you and he's so proud of you. And he said he couldn't have asked for a better granddaughter. This is just, I just heard the word enamored. He's just so enamored with your ability, with your, I heard crime solving abilities, that I just heard like he's floored. It's just, uh, it goes above and beyond anything that he could have ever imagined, is what I'm hearing. And loves you so much. And he says I'm with you every step of the way. He's like, you're walking in my steps, but I'm going to be walking in yours too, because I'm going to be following along with you. Not following you, but following along there by your side. If you have a question, if you need that extra little insight, you just ask him. He says, I'm right here. I am just waiting for you just to ask me. just waiting for you to ask him. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that leave that reading there. So if there's a Janelle or Jessica, if this resonates with you, and after you heard all this, I don't know if those are just the names that came through at the end when I was saying I wish I had a name, and but Janelle came first, and then I heard Jessica. So I'm just gonna leave that energy there, and thank you, sir. Thank you, Spirit, for bringing that message through and allowing me to put this out there, for whom it needs to hear it. And yeah, I'm gonna close that door. And thank you. Is there anybody else who would like to step forth and bring a message? I'm open to receive. I wish I could hit like pause for a second. My hand is frozen. I need to change. I'm outside and it's like 20 something, like 20 degrees. I don't know what the real feel is, but and I really have nothing to put this on. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave that there. I'm gonna leave that there. And thank you all for tuning in. And I hope you all have a blessed evening, a beautiful week coming up. And if you have to be out in the cold, please dress warm. If you're, and I'm sorry if you've been dealing with any power outages or the crazy weather, or are impacted or have family or friends that have been impacted by any of this craziness. My blessings and light go out to you. May peace be with you all. And yes, enjoy the rest of your evening, morning, or day, right? Because it depends when you watch this. I'm signing off. It's evening. So have a good one.